Hi, BookTube. It's Gina. How are you? I'm doing well, but I cannot believe that it's almost March already. The time is just flying by. So I thought today I would do a March TBR. Now, I generally don't do TBRs, although I did do one in February, which was unusual for me. And I'm going to do one in March because there are a few reading events in March that I love, that I want to participate in. And so I do like to do a TBR when there's a fun event coming up so I can talk about it, so I can be part of the conversation, and just get right into it. So for March, there are 3 events that I have to participate in. I can't let the month go by without reading from these 3 types of books. One is March of the Mammoths, where we read big, chunky books over 800 pages. The next one is Middle Grade March, where we read middle grade books. And the third is March Mystery Madness, where we read mysteries. And I love all 3 of these types of books. Love them. They may be my favorite types of books. So I can't let March go by without participating in all of these events. Even though I may not get to all of the books that I want to get to, I'm going to share a bunch with you and we'll see how far I get. You know me, I don't put pressure on myself. I'm here to have some fun, talk about books, and I don't feel guilty for what I read or do not read. So I'm going to share some ideas with you and we'll see where we get to. So the first book I want to share with you is My Mammoth. This is A Woman of Substance by Barbara Taylor Bradford. It's a big chunky book. It was, 825 pages. This is a 40th anniversary edition. Can you believe it? I remember when this book came out. Oh, I didn't read it when I was a teen, but it was definitely on my radar. This was a recommendation from one of you when I was talking about my favorite lady protagonists in literature. Actually, I think it was my favorite old ladies. This book came up as a recommendation. And so I thought this would just be a perfect easy, fun, but chunky book for March of the Mammoths this year. If you're reading Moby Dick or Dombey and Son or one of those other big chunksters, yay you, but I'm gonna stick with something easy and light and fun this year. Next, let's do Middle Grade March. So for Middle Grade March, I've got 4 things, and actually this is a whittled down pile. I had even more, but I had to narrow it down a little bit. So the first thing I've got is an Enid Blyton, The Secret 7. Look at that cover. Isn't that fun? This is a super thin book. So this won't take me very long to get through. And middle grade does tend to be a pretty quick read. So hopefully I'll be able to get through all 4 of these. We've got Secret 7. We've got The Time of Green Magic by Hilary McKay. Now, I was going to read this one for a book that came out in the last year, but this did not come out in the last year. It came out in like 2019. I'm a little slow when it comes to new releases, but I'm going to count this one as a new-ish book for me. This was written by Hilary McKay, who also wrote, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank now, wrote The Skylark's War, which I read a couple months ago and really loved. So I'm very looking forward to this. I don't really know anything about it. It was a cover buy just because I love that cover. Next is Mandy by Julie Andrews Edwards. Yes, that Julie Andrews. And this is an orphan story set in England. You know how I love my orphan stories. There's some sky in the background here. I love this cover. This is not in great condition, this edition. I found it used for just $1, I think, and I just thought it was super cute. I've had this in my brain TBR for a while, and when I saw it, I thought, oh, yep, that's going on the list. And then lastly, this is at the bottom of my list, read The Penderwicks by Jeanne Birdsall. This would be a reread for me. I love the Penderwicks. It's about 4 sisters. I love sibling stories. They befriend a neighbor boy named Jeffrey, and I love stories about families and especially about siblings. This won the National Book Award, which is one of the prompts for the read-along or readathon. And it's also Sky. One of the characters' name is Sky, and there's some Sky on the cover here. So since this one's a reread, it's going at the bottom of the pile, but it's been a few years since I've read it, and I remember that I loved it. So hopefully I will get to that one. Next, March Mystery Madness. So to start with, I'm going to for sure read this one, Threats at 3 by Anne Purser. This is a cozy British mystery, and the protagonist is Lois Mead, who is a house cleaner. So since the theme for March Mystery Madness is lather, rinse, repeat, I thought this would be a very fun one to fit in. And look at that cover. There's a dog, there's a boot, there's some gardens. So we'll see where this one goes. This is a really fun series. I've read a few of these and always enjoy them. Then next, I've got a Ruth Rendell from Dune with Death. And I've read a couple Ruth Rendells and I've really enjoyed them, so I'm looking forward to this. I don't really know anything about it, but I love these little paperback editions. Isn't that cute? The only thing I always remember about Ruth Rendell is that I first discovered her books because I saw Judi Dench in As Time Goes By, which is one of my favorite TV series. There was an in-bed scene there. Her and her husband are in bed reading together, which I love. And she was reading a Ruth Rendell, and I was like, oh, I've got to pick that up. So I subsequently have read a couple of them and really enjoyed them. I'm also gonna hopefully get to this, A Quiet Life in the Country by T.E. Kinsey. I've had this one on my TBR for a while and really want to get to it, about a wealthy woman and her lady's maid? Lady Emily Hardcastle is an eccentric widow with a secret past. Florence Armstrong, her maid and confidant, is an expert in martial arts. The year is 1908 and they've just moved from London to the country hoping for a quiet life. And I'm guessing they're not going to get their quiet life, and there's going to be some murder, or at least some mystery. So this, I'm sure, is going to be wonderful. And then I can't have a mystery TBR without including something from Agatha Christie. This is Toward Zero. I've got a few of hers that I could read, but I'm hoping to just to get to this one. I don't think this is a Marple or a Poirot. I think this is a standalone. I'm not positive now, but because I'm not positive, I've actually got, my friend Gina sent me this book. This is the Bedside, Bathtub, and Armchair Companion to Agatha Christie. So what I plan to do when I pick up an Agatha Christie now is I'm gonna look it up in this book. It's got, I'm not gonna read the synopsis before because I do like to go into them really not knowing anything. But I'm gonna use this book as a companion as it was intended when I read an Agatha Christie. So I'm putting these two sort of together. And then I also have 2 books that are not on my readathon TBR, but that I do plan to read in March. The first one is the News from Thrush Green by Miss Reed. I am doing a year-long reading of the Thrush Green series. There are 13 books in the series, so I'm going to do one-ish a month. I might move a little bit faster than that because I love to read these, especially if I'm feeling any anxiety. These always just put me right back in a good mood. I love this cover. This is Phil looking at Tulliver's, the house that she has purchased that needs some work, and she's new to Thrush Green, her and her little son. So I'm gonna read this as just a cozy bedtime read. And then I'm also going to dip into this Martha's Vineyard, Isle of Dreams by Susan Branch. This was another present, and actually, this was also a present for my friend Gina. She's like my book crack dealer. It's wonderful and horrible all at the same time. She sent me this as a present. She's the one that really turned me on to Susan Branch. And this book apparently is a diary format and starts out in March. And so I thought it would be very fun to start this book. I'm not sure if there are entries. I don't think there are entries for each day. It doesn't look like, but it does start on March 5th, 1982. And so I thought this would be really fun to at least start in March. I don't necessarily think I'll finish this one in March, but I think this is going to be a great one to dip into at night as I'm cuddling up in bed, getting ready to go to sleep. So that is my TBR for March. It's quite a stack. Let's see if we can pile these up. Actually, I don't think I can even put them all in a pile. There's too many, but let's try it. Let's see how we do. This is gonna be my, there we go, my March stack. I'm very excited. Thank you to all the hosts of all of these wonderful events. I'm very excited about it. And I would love to hear what you plan to read for March down below in the comments. Bye.